Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessing be upon you and Allah's mercy to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, and hi to everybody and my non-Muslim friends. Today I'm discussing a very important point. Most people ask about this point. Can wingchun work in competition? Yes, that's a good question. First of all, when we practice wingchun to correspond with each other, not to fight each other. Right now you find many people doing wingchun, fighting against each other, and fighting in a straight line. Yes, but they fight against each other. So you put a wingchun against a wingchun person, obviously the person who's teaching it will always win. Regardless of the teacher, the senior, the student, the advanced person, he will always win because he has more knowledge than the other person. So that's what you see when people practice wingchun, against each other in fact. You always find that the strong one person always feels like he's dominant to the other person in his wingchun skills because he knows more information. Doesn't mean that your wingchun can work in any real life situation. It's just they're practicing. The way I teach wingchun so people correspond to each other and practice each other, not fight each other. Example: if we do a drill, the drill is a drill to get techniques into your system, not to fight. Yes, but sometimes people put a drill and want to fight in the drill, or fight each other, the ego might get in the way, so therefore it's hard to practice. Or you get two people practicing wingchun to each other and they're both born to win, no one's learning, and everyone thinks they're really, really good. But you've got to ask yourself this question: if you play with someone who don't do wingchun, can your wingchun work or not? That's another question. Yes, like competition has rules. So most of the time when you find people go to competition or MMA fighting or kickboxing and say they do wingchun and want to fight with people with different style, they find it extremely hard because they're not used to it. They're used to fighting against wingchun. They do not fight against any other style. So when they get inside the ring, and sometimes they might say to you, you can't do this, you can't kick low, you can't put your finger in the person's eyes, you can't hit their nose, you can't chop them, you can't lock them in their throat. Most of these techniques take away from you when you do wingchun. Myself, really, I don't get involved in competition. I just do wingchun to teach my guys to practice to defend themselves in any given situation. Example: if you're practicing in a gym and you practice the technique to be realistic much as possible, when you go out in the world or in the streets or in the pub or in a club and someone approaches and attacks you, you do the martial art to the best of your ability. But most important thing that if you get two styles practicing, and there might be jiu-jitsu or ground fighting, yeah, there's two styles of the same style, two people fighting the same style, so the one who does the best will win. But if a person who does ground fighting and he fights a boxer, it might be completely different. It might be the approach. If the person's scared when the person approaches him, can the person do any technique? Does he freeze? The scenario changes again. And this is what I mean by sometimes when you practice a martial arts skill, don't care what style it is, when the real thing comes, you might shut down. But you play with something that you know already, or someone knows the same style as you, and you spar each other, the one with the most knowledge, better understanding, courage, reflexes, and things like that, will win. It's quite simple. But if the person meets someone unorthodox, punching like really wild and things like that, rushing, quickly punch, any different angles, can you do with that? That's where every style, not just for wingchun, for every style, karate, boxing, jiu-jitsu, animal styles. If someone coming with a tiger claw, up and down, and you're only use a straight line theory, what are you going to do? Yes, like I said, if you only fight people or wingchun with each other, you might find another style that's completely different, and then you won't have trouble. So I try to keep wingchun realistic as much as possible. I tell my guys I hit them every different angles, so therefore they get used to it. But if I start hitting them on in a straight line, therefore they get used to a straight line, and when someone tries to attack them another style, they will freeze because they don't know where else to go. And also the look style. The look style for wingchun is a study, just for wingchun people. Sometimes you have Tai Chi with pushing hands, just for Tai Chi people. You have boxing training, just for boxing training. You have jiu-jitsu, just on the mats, just for jiu-jitsu people. I don't know jiu-jitsu, I don't know MMA, so I don't know how to play on the mat. All I know is play on the hard surface, completely different. But I do an art form to to adapt to the situation. It depends what happens, what someone approach you with a technique. So sometimes people do rolling hands in Luxo. We call Luxo rolling hands, or Chiso. Yes, you are playing Chiso with your classmate. This is you and your classmate doing Chiso. Now you meet someone who don't know Chiso and punch really wild and things like that, every angle, it will bite you or headbutt you. What are you doing now? You can't do Chiso, you can't do rolling hands. So you see the scenario change again. That's why I said sometimes when people do any competition, it's really hard. You've got to look at the scenario. If I myself want to do competition, I maybe have to learn ground fighting, jiu-jitsu, boxing, different kind of movement, but I can't use my Wing Chun because it's different. My Wing Chun is not for competition, it's for just to deal with any given situation, outside, on the street, in a club, in your house, in case someone attacks you in your house or in the office or anything like that, you use it in any given situation, but not for competition. So later on I'll show my technique, doing some technique with my guys, practicing, so you can see some scenarios of someone rushing you, or someone hit you all different angles, and you see, can you freeze? You might freeze, you might not freeze. You have to learn how to practice to overcome these things. So it is not just for Wing Chun people, it's for everybody. Martial art is martial art. So what style of martial art you practice, do it to the best of your ability. We don't say which is the best martial art style. We say, do you understand your style that you have learned, what you are learning, which is most important, and can you apply it? This is really, really important. But straight away, for the Wing Chun people, like I said, when push my guys, it's for my guys, when you do rolling hands, you're doing rolling hands. Doesn't mean you're going to fight someone who does rolling hands. He doesn't know rolling hands at all. So therefore, can you deal with the situation that it gives you? It might be a kicker, it might be a grabber, it might be a boxer, it might be animal style, eagle, or crane, or snake, or dragon. These are all animal style, martial art animal style that people practice. So therefore, this scenario, like I said, is different. I hope that from this talk you can benefit, open your mind, learn from it, and also look at other things, look at yourself, see what you can do, what you can't do. If you learn a style, ask yourself this question: can you use a style in any given situation, or you can only use it with people that's the same style as you, or you might be better than them in your style that you do. Yeah? So that's the difference, you know. So I hope you can benefit. I hope we show you some little clips of how I'm going to practice, how my guys will practice with each other, showing different ways how to do certain things. Doesn't mean you can do it. You can see it, learn from it, but it doesn't mean you can do it. You have to learn how to practice it. So sometimes people watch something on YouTube and they think they can do it. When the approach is real, you might freeze. Yes? Looking at something and doing something is completely different. You must learn to understand it, learn to practice it, learn the force, learn the speed. The person might be bigger than you, bulkier than you. He might try and grab you and hold you. What you can do now? If he holds you and grab you, your arms are free to put your finger in his eyes, or in his throat, or his eardrum. That's it. See, different. But it's what do you, in that scenario, do you freeze? Or you've got confidence in doing certain movements, certain techniques. Like I said, so I hope you can benefit from what I'm talking about, and I hope you can learn from it, and hope that don't care what martial arts you learn, you can improve yourself, either from your teacher, or from your classmate, or from each other, or by watching, or by participating in the practice what you're doing. But most important thing, you can learn from it. So I hope you can benefit from this talk I gave you about competition of martial arts in any sort of competition, and you can benefit from it. Thanks again for watching. I hope you benefit from this, and bye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So as you can see, Shanti, so we're just doing Luxo, movements here. So we do Luxo with some technique, and you see from here. Yeah, they're good. We just swapping technique to each other, back and forward. We're not fighting each other, we're just practicing. But he trying to stop me, he hit me here, stop me here, trying to hit me here, here and here. You see all the movements will come out. Now, I can start it and go punch, glass in here. Yeah? But now I can hit him here, hit him here, hit him here, hit him, glass in here. But it's not benefit because I'm a teacher and he's my student and he wants to learn nothing. So what I do, I will feed him so he can practice. So we break away. This is from Corso, this is Paxo. This is from Paxo, this is from Sticky. But what we're doing, you see Gunso, what we're doing, Munso, you see all the movements. Yeah, it might be a Foxa. Yeah, and Pak. These are just drills we practice with each other. Now, there's another scenario, I might say to him, okay, you don't know me, I don't know you. Done. Done. Yeah, my wingchun changed, much better, much faster, and quite direct, but you can't stop it. But he might be direct on me and stop me. Now, yeah, he might be direct again, stop me. Yeah, he might move again, go again, and then. And you see, they're completely different now because now I know something. But if I know more than him, you don't know nothing, obviously it seems like I've got good Wing Chun.
Yeah.
It's not I've got good Wing Chun, it's that his level is lower or not that good. So I can do what I want to do. But if he knows something, you know, it's harder for me, it's harder for him to do the technique, and we wait for each other, and you see it's sticky. Yeah, so you go. Yeah. So you see, let me practicing. Now, he might be really good at Wing Chun by rolling hands. Now I say, Santi, we're going to watch here. Santi, I'm going to take you now. Completely different. I'm taking now. Yeah, completely different. Different scenario. Yeah, I might punch him, block him in, and go here. Different scenario. If you don't know what to do, I'll get away with it. You see? He might punch me high, and go low. Yeah? Or punch high, I'll show you the scenario, and go with my low section. You see? Yeah. Yeah, completely. You might go low with my section. Yeah. You see? Completely different. Now, go low with my section. Okay, we both go low.
Yeah.
This one means we both the same style. Who knows it the best? Yeah? See? Who knows it the best will win.
Yeah.
When same no Wing Chun, who knows it the best
Yeah.
will win. So you will see that it's not beneficial if I try to beat him up and I'm more Wing Chun than him. It's not productive at all. But if I try to show him where to go and also he can practice, then it's beneficial. Now he meets someone and tries to attack him in this area, he can park. If he doesn't swing, he can palm. Here or palm the face. Because there's no look zone now. You see? There's no look zone. If I've gone here and I've gone here, there's no look zone. But here, like I always say, it's only for training for Wing Chun people. But like I said before, I don't know Wing Chun. I'm going to start going like that. Yeah? What are you going to do? I might brush you, block you, and you might freeze and don't know what to do. Scenario change again. Yeah? And that's why I say by mixed martial arts or competition, if I'm in competition, I've got pads on, I've got gloves on, I cannot grab you, but I've got gloves on. Yeah? Maybe I'm not going to elbow you, I can't use my fingers to go across your eyes, I can't grab your throat. Yeah? So therefore, all the things I know, I can't use it in competition. So I said, my Wing Chun not for competition, is for everyday life. If you punch me and I'm going to hit your throat, yeah, this is, you see, if you try to punch me, I squeeze you more. Completely different, you know. So you see, different scenario, yeah. If you punch me and I go across your neck, yeah, completely different again. If you punch me and here and I'm going here and I'm going here, yeah. Every scenario is changing. But he punched by straight line punching. But now he hooks me by a hook, I could go straight. Now, if I'm scared and he hooks, and I'm scared to go in, this will work. On paper, the straight line is quicker than the circle. But in reality, I get scared. You punch me, you swing at me, and then what's scared me? Yeah? So I've got to train my mind to not be scared of the circle. But if I'm scared of it now, and I do this, then you get hit. Yeah? It's like we might buy looks on, and I've gone here. You see, it's conditioned. Yeah? Real life looks like I've gone here. It's conditioned. So you see the scenario. That's what I mean by practice scenario, practice certain situation, so you can overcome it. But you never experienced before, your body will get a shock and freeze. He might rush me really quickly, punching, and I freeze out this way. Yeah? You gotta be punching from here in practice. That's a drill. Real life situation, you be aggressive, I might freeze. Or you might punch me, I might move. It depends on what you know. Okay, so that's what I mean by you have to practice everything to overcome certain scenarios. So if I said to you, this, can you do look so? Yes. You're wingchun. I don't know wingchun. Yeah, so you come your hands up. I've gone here, gone here, gone here, gone here. Yeah, gone here, yeah. And you panic, don't know what to do. Completely different. But you're used to it. You to me. Go here, yeah. Completely different, isn't it? Now you punch me, come attack me. I do this all the time. No, that means I'll go backwards. You come attack me. I'm not attacking, I'm running. I don't know what to do. You attack me, I go forward. But to go forward, you must have techniques. You must have courage. Yeah? So you attack me, I'll do this. Yes? Or another style, I do another style. I might do any movement, any sort of style, and you rush me and I freeze. Same thing. Yeah? We try and keep it real, reality. Yeah? So it's not that, so you get, so my class, where I teach my guys, reality. If they win or lose, they still learn. That's the idea in practice. Real life situation, you hope you win because it's a real life situation, no one get knocked down, busted face, stuff like that, so you do technique to protect yourself. But in the class, we practice with each other to practice our techniques. I don't try to beat you up, you don't try and beat me up, we just practice. Imagine, if he punches me here, he's in, we're practicing. Yeah? But if it's real now and he's in, or here, I'm on the floor. Who do you have to practice with now? No one. Because you just beat up your classmate. Well, your classmate want to practice with you again? No. So how can you practice? You beat up everybody. But if I practice him, I've gone here and control. He knows he's been hit. If I've gone here and here, and he moves again. And he knows he's been hit. If I've gone here and here, he moves again. He knows he's been hit. And you come here, see? So he couldn't come in, and you see he knows he's been hit. Completely different now, isn't it? But at least it's done with control. If he hits me one after the other, and I've gone here, yeah, hit the head, good, you see, good, you see, same thing, we control, yeah. We've got him a teacher, he's hitting me so he can practice. Not the ego, I must hit him all the time. No, let him practice so he can improve. Yeah? So now you see the difference between when we're doing hand to hand and somebody knows something or know nothing, how do you practice and how do you improve? So this is very, very important. Not to fight each other with ego, spar each other with harmony, so you can get the technique. Example, we have a movement and we have also. But you punch me, here's a also, and here's a pew. Yeah? Or you might, look so, there's a also now and there's a palm. But there's a form, also. But can you use it? See the difference now? So every movement I practice, the form, like the alphabet, I learn to what? Use it in any given situation. Yes? If I punch him straight here, then I see him toe punching. Yeah? And he swing at me. I know this is quicker than this one. But like I said, I might panic. And then you punch me and I panic. And you see, that's what happens. But if I understand it on paper, and reality, and I trust it and believe in it, therefore I can do it. So you swing at me, you see here. If I swing at you, you see here. See? You swing at him, there. So then in practice he's used to it. So someone trying to swing at him, there. Now he might change now, another scenario. I might hit one arm, he catch it, and hit again. Yeah? Or hit top, and hit again. Yes. Yeah? Or I swing, step back, and then come in. Or swing, I swing, move back, and come in. Oh, scenario change again. Yeah, I swing at him, he moves, and he's in quickly. Or he swing, and then swing, and then again. Or he swing and catch again. Different scenarios. Or I wrestle towards him, he kicks me. Different scenario. You see? Yeah, kick again, you see? Different scenario. Yeah. If I try and rush him here, different scenario. So you see, every scenario changes. We cannot teach everything in 1 hour. We cannot share everything in 1 year. But you can't show everything in 2 years. It takes at least 5 years to understand many things and incorporate it in any given situation. You have to practice this. Yes? So if I tell my guys you can learn Wing Chun in 1 week, 6 months, I'm cheating them. You can't do that. Yeah? Do a couple of years for foundation, structure, understanding, then we do some sparring. If you have no techniques, how can you spar? If you don't know how to use a form, how can you use it? So you learn to use a form, learning how to use a form in any given situation. Sticky and Gorsa. Like I said, most people, there's Wing Chun, they fight Wing Chun people. It's only with what? Wing Chun people. But you don't know Wing Chun. I can't do roll hand with you, don't know it. You're just going to punch me and kick me. So I've got to defend to the best of my ability. You might tap me, I might just defend, see, to my best ability. Yeah, different scenario again. And this is what I mean by, I hope you can benefit again from what I explained, what I've shown, and I hope you can put it in a real life situation and you can practice or look at your own martial arts skills and see can you put it in everyday use or how to practice with each other and benefit from each other, not just fight each other to hit at any cost. Yeah? So thanks again for watching. I hope you can benefit from this, and it's an honour me giving information out to people so they can understand something and they can benefit. Yeah? Most important thing, knowledge. Get knowledge, understand knowledge, and implement knowledge is very important. So I hope you can benefit from this and from your own skills that you know already, and you can improve yourself. Thank you again for watching. All the best.